think about what I did wrong or how I wasn't good enough in this way or that way. And I think about how I just don't have the personality or the looks that they might want.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're meeting with a girl that's on Dr. Phil's show because she can't hold down a boyfriend apparently, and that's just really rocking her world at this point, and she can't stand to be single, so make sure you keep watching until the end to see if Dr. Phil actually helps her out, because if so, that's pretty wholesome. Look, nobody wants to be lonely, so hopefully this girl can get help, but also it's kind of funny to see her situation. I'm not going to spoil too much. Without further ado, let's just meet her, shall we?
You're 15, right?
Yes.
And you had your first breakup that really bothered you at 14.
So yeah, this girl is like prime age for being in a relationship craze in high school. You know, back in my day, girls this age probably had like posters of Jacob or Edward from Twilight on their walls and dreamed of being whisked away by a pale, malnourished looking e-boy before e-boys were a thing, of course. So I'm guessing her situation is the same thing now, but she just has posters of actual TikTok e-boys up on her wall, dreaming of the day that she can make cringe relationship TikToks with her significant other, since we all know that is the peak of love at that age. I mean, I don't want to belittle her struggle here, but I am going to be cracking jokes about it because, I mean, high school romance is not really a thing to me. Like, I just think you're way too immature to be able to possess feelings like that. And, I mean, she might for real be actually lonely, and apparently it's so bad that she can't even go back to her normal school after breaking up with this one kid. So let's just see how bad it gets.
I say a lot of things like maybe I'm gonna do something wrong, or he's gonna lose interest, or he's gonna like someone else, or something's gonna happen.
So sounds like this girl is a lot like I was back in high school when I was trying to get a girlfriend. I guess that was more middle school for me because during high school I was pretty much only focused on playing COD with my friends and skateboarding. Like, those two things were all that I would ever care about as a teenager. But maybe I was just weird. But yeah, this girl just straight up overthinks everything, and that can be pretty detrimental to deal with, bro. Like, you have this voice in your head that just will not shut up, that glorifies your biggest insecurities and blows them up massively in your face so that all your shortcomings are all that you can think about. And to be honest, that's pretty crippling, especially when you think that everyone else in the world has a way easier time connecting with people. You only see the good times, like on social media and everything. Or in this girl's case, she probably just thinks that everyone else is way better looking than her. But screw that little voice in your head, dude. Like, I still deal with crap like that all the time. I basically overthink everything. But as you get older, you get better at blocking it out and recognizing that it's just the annoying side of your brain acting up, so you can suppress it a bit better.
Why is it worth it then? Is the good part, does that outweigh the fear?
Yes.
And so tell me about the good part. Tell me about the high.
Well, Dr. Phil, when you're in love and you hold hands in between class, it's just the most electrifying feeling. Especially when you get home and duet each other's TikToks. Like, nothing is more romantic than that, okay? This is serious love. No, but for real, the extent of, quote, love in high school is pretty much that. Like, y'all might think it exists, but in my opinion, like I said earlier, this girl is probably just better off just trying to focus on school right now, dude. Like, you are so underdeveloped mentally in those years, you cannot possibly be in love. I mean, there's, of course, always those couples that got together in high school and marry and have tons of kids, and they, you know, do a bunch of, like, Pinterest stuff. I don't know, that seems like the most weird life ever to me, but I always feel like those people are not only crazy, but also they're just working their best to hide how not in love they are or how much they dislike that person after some time. Like, to be honest, they're the types to have a kid just to try to patch up the relationship as like a last-ditch effort, desperation move. Seriously, this girl is big tripping over nothing. I guarantee when she's older, she's gonna look back at what she was like on the show and the fact that she was even on Dr. Phil's show for this problem, and she's just gonna sit there and cringe probably.
What's the first clue that something's wrong? Because you know it way before it happens, right?
Dr. Phil, he started actually typing out full words in the text messages and used way less emojis than he used to. After that, I just knew that we were doomed. No, but for real, like, that was the only way to tell back in high school. That was the telltale sign right there that you were about to get dumped. All right, bro, like, as soon as people start using impeccable grammar and actual punctuation in their texts, you know you're screwed. That person is not into you anymore. So big L for this girl right here. Can we get an F in chat for her with this breakup? Because clearly this really affected her in a major way. Like, not everyone gets broken up with and just calls up Dr. Phil to try to get on his show. Like, this random kid really broke her heart or something, man.
Number one, they must be loyal, honest, and there for me. Good rule. Keep that one.
Bro, she's got some strict requirements here. If you aren't lightning fast at responding, she's just gonna sit there and overthink. And while that may sound silly, I even do that as an adult, dude. Like I said earlier, your brain is really good at and amazing at being your own worst enemy and making you overthink everything. You know, back when me and my girlfriend were long distance, if we were hitting a nice texting groove or something and she wouldn't respond for a while, she could literally be driving or, I don't know, doing anything that would take her focus away from the phone. But I would just sit there like, all right, this is it. I finally annoyed her to a level where she doesn't like me anymore. I hate myself. But I guess that wasn't ever true because, I mean, we actually live together now. So take that, haters. Turns out I'm not too ugly to be loved, like some of you commenters have said on my Instagram before. @Crux, don't follow me right now, please. Okay, nobody's actually ever been that mean to me, but still, I may be joking about this girl and about dating at a young age in general, but I do get her struggle. So don't think that I'm just belittling her or something. Like, it's actually kind of comical that she has her own segment on Dr. Phil's show for this. Like, he's really taking his time to make this girl feel better about herself. And I will say, Dr. Phil, that's pretty cool of you. Round of applause, man. You're a good guy.
So you let this happen. You let her switch schools.
I did. At the time, I thought it was the best, but I think it was just the easiest route.
That's right. Sadly, this girl was so wrecked by her breakup, apparently, that she had her mom switch her into an alternative school, all because she could not face seeing that dude again. That's a level of social anxiety and shame that is pretty bad at that point. Like, that's severe. As a mom, she should probably have tried harder to find out the real source of her kid's pain instead of just letting her switch schools, because I bet deep down, this girl probably regrets that decision. Like, she's not only leaving the comfort of her normal school, she's leaving her other friends from that school too, and that's a pretty big change.
Statistically, the chance of the person that is going to be your life partner being the one that you're dating when you're in your teens is something real close to zero.
See, even Dr. Phil is on my side about this, dude. Normal people do not find the love of their life when they are teenagers, especially not like freshmen or sophomores in high school. You maybe could back in the 50s before Tinder was a thing, but I mean, if people think that they are in love and they're teenagers and they're gonna live together forever, they're either lying to themselves out of fear of exposing all the time that they have wasted with this person that they thought was the one, but they have since changed and they're no longer the one, or they just straight up won the relationship lottery. But long story short, this girl needs to not put so much stock onto these innocent high school relationships. Like, your life should not be completely uprooted and having you change schools just because some boy broke up with you. You should keep going to your normal school and instead just enjoy life with that person not in the picture. Them seeing that will be the best outcome, because then they know you're better off without them, and that's like the best revenge ever, bruh. Not cowering and switching schools because you can't stand to see them in the hallway. Hey, you guys made it pretty far into this video, so real quick, I'm gonna ask you to drop a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell in the next 5 seconds. And if you can do all that quick enough, you'll win your very own 100-foot tall cake. No idea where you're gonna store this thing or how you're gonna finish all that cake, but wow, dude, that's like unlimited calories. Congrats. Don't blame me for the stomach ache later though, alright? Anyways, on with the rest of the video.
Because when she's with these boys, she tends to let me know that they are going to get married. This is the one. It's long term. I don't care that I'm 15. I know this for a fact. You do say that.
No, I don't.
Dude, this mom is clueless. Let Dr. Phil talk to the kid, but we don't need you on here, Karen, exposing this poor girl for her extreme feelings. Of course she doesn't want the world to know that she's madly in love with these boys at her school. Like, that's probably so embarrassing, but I guarantee you every teenage girl talks like that. That's just stuff that she tells her mom in private. Now her mom's out here blasting it out to the world for all of them to know. Yeah, way to go, lady.
Daughters are really impacted by their relationships with their fathers. And that father makes that daughter feel like she is the princess. She is the most wonderful, special.
Dang, dude, Dr. Phil actually brings up a really solid point here, and it's something I didn't really think of but makes a lot of sense. So sadly, this girl's dad is not really in the picture at this point in her life, and as a result, when she doesn't have that positive reinforcement and love from a man in her life that is supposed to make her feel happy and loved, she just clings on to whatever these kids in her school say to her, and that's what makes her fall for them so hard. So when some dude slides into her TikTok DMs and is like, yo, low-key, you're like kind of bad, she's gonna be like, oh my god, I love this guy, we're gonna get married and we're gonna date forever. And when you aren't told that you're pretty or that you're loved, it's a pretty big void that you then have to fill, And this girl sees these high school relationships as a good way to fill that void in her heart, apparently. I didn't know we were going to get so deep and emotional on this one, but that's facts right there. And this is just another reason that Dr. Phil is the GOAT when it comes to this stuff, man. Whether it's him talking to some idiotic person that's ruining their life, or simply a young girl like this having trouble finding love, he always knows what the root of the problem is and offers amazing advice on how to get out of that situation. I think we just don't give this man enough props, to be honest. I think what this girl needs is some positive reinforcement in her life from her mom, since it sounds like she isn't the best support system right now, and she needs to really focus on what makes her a good person and focus on shining the best light on herself. Overall, this was a really wholesome episode to see Dr. Phil sit down and talk to this girl on a personal level and remind her of all the qualities she has and why she is probably deserving of love one day, even if it might not happen in high school. Guys, let me know what you thought of this girl down in the comments below, and if you guys are like her, trust me, you'll find someone. Just stop hating on yourself so much, please, alright? You're way cooler than you give yourself credit for. Anyways, as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, peace out.